Hello everyone. First see the contents. I will explain some of the terminologies related to safety engineering, then hazard theory followed by hazard triangle, different causal factors, hazard recognition. This lecture is primarily based on the book Hazard Analysis Techniques for System Safety, written by A. Erickson to Clifton, published by Wiley. So, as you know that safety engineering is a interdisciplinary subject. It is taken or borrowed knowledge from different disciplines, and over the years it matured and it has its own vocabulary or language. And knowing safety engineering or being expert in safety engineering essentially also includes that you know the language of safety engineering. In today's lecture, I want to explain those vocabularies and the definition in such a manner that you spell out or speak about all those terms and terminologies in that manner, and then it will be understood that you have gone through this course, you have knowledge on safety engineering at the first instance. So, under terminologies, the first one is your safety. So, if you go through dictionary, you will find this definition: being safe, freedom from risk or danger. But a better definition could be degree of freedom from harm or danger. So, the basic premises behind this definition: under industrial safety or as such under safety engineering, every activity whatever you do that contains some amount of danger or risk or harm. So, as a result 100% harm that the hazard free operation is difficult to have. So, by safety we want to mean when you do some activities or you work somewhere, then what is the freedom you enjoy from harm or danger. So, that is why that freedom is degree of freedom. Okay. For example, if you are working in a control room, AC control room, and you are working near blast furnace, or you are operating a machine in works in shop floor, or a person who is driving a car, or someone who is basically launching that missile, or somebody who is basically cooking in the kitchen. So, you find out that they do not expose to same amount of danger or risk. There is degree of difference. So, that degree of freedom is safety. So, we will stick to this definition, degree of freedom. When we talk about safety, essentially we also talk about risk. because the safety and risk, they are very much related terminology. When safety is degree of freedom from harm or danger, risk is perhaps the measure of that harm or danger. So, if you go by a dictionary definition, you find out that this is hazard, peril, jeopardy, this many things are common man definition of risk. But from safety engineering point of view, the definition what we want to follow is this. It is an expression of the impact and possibility of a mishap in terms of potential mishap severity and probability of occurrence. I will explain later on when we discuss about risk assessment or risk quantification in a better manner. I can say that better manner means in more objective manner, but for the time being risk is basically a quantification. It is the quantification of hazard potential. I will explain hazard little later. So, it is basically mishap in terms of severity, that is important word, and another one is probability. So, risk, if risk is R, then this is probability of occurrence some undesired event times consequence or severity of that undesired event. So, this is our most traditional definition of risk. So, we will basically follow the second definition, not the dictionary common definition. The safety engineer definition is the second one, and we will elaborate in detail on risk. The third terminology, which is accident. So, accident, an undesirable or an unexpected event, a mishap, an unfortunate chance, etc., but this is based on dictionary. We will not follow this dictionary definition, we will follow definition given by some standard authority, where accident or mishap, accident is a mishappenings. So, that we will define. When I define mishappening, that time again I will define accident. For the time being, you think of that someone working at height, there is a chance that he will fall. So, fall from height. Worker working in a material yard, there can be possibility that he will be hit by moving machines, hit by objects. So, these are all accidents. So, accident is unfortunate, undesirable event. Okay. So, then few more definition. Incident. For incident and accident, there is similarity as well as dissimilarity. Incident, here anything what is basically may be desirable, may be undesirable, but we will basically talk about undesirable incident, and it can be of any severity, any consequence, without severity, that is incident. But when you talk about accident, the severity of consequence is bigger, larger than incident. But anyhow, incident measurement is an important or incident management is an important issue. Let us differentiate between incident and accident. Suppose I said that working at the shop floor, sometimes the worker may fall on the same floor, or what may happen that about to sleep, while about to sleep is incident, but fall at the floor level, that is accident. Okay. So an accident is an incident, but an incident may not be accident, but nowadays this definition there is very less differentiations, what I can say, the less differences. Okay. I told you about mishap, which is nothing but accident, but here the dictionary definition is unfortunate accident. We will not stick to this, we will stick to the second definition given by military standard 882D report. It is an unexplained event or series of events resulting in death, injury, occupational illness, damage or loss of equipment or property, or damage to environment. Carefully observe that it is unplanned event or series of events. What it will do? It may lead to death, it may lead to injury, it may lead to occupational illness. These all related to personnel. Then damage to or loss of equipment and property, it is related to property. Then damage to environment, third one is environment. So, there has been an accident or mishap lead to damage for personnel, for property, for environment, individually or collectively or in combination. And mishap and accident are synonymous for us. Mishap and accidents are events, these are unfortunate events, these are random events. Okay. So, we say accident two types, one is basically man made, another one is the chance event. So, whatever may be the reason that we will discuss later on, but for the time being you please stick to this definition. It is an unplanned event or series of events resulting in death, injury, occupational illness, damage to or loss of equipment to property, and environment damage. Okay. Then another important definition for us is hazard. Very important definition, hazard. Hazard, if you go by dictionary, see it is basically to risk, to put in danger or loss of injury, but safety engineer definition should be like this: any real or potential condition, that can cause injury, illness, death to personnel, damage to or loss of a system, equipment, property, or damage to environment, both coming from military standard 882D. If you see the difference between the two definitions, then you see in the first definition, when you talking about accident or mishap, we are saying an unplanned event or series of events resulting into loss to person, property, or environment. When you are talking about hazard, we are talking about any real or potential condition, accident, event which is realized, hazard, condition which is not realized, but it can lead to accident. So, the difference between the two, in the one is realized, another one is not realized. Hazard is potential and accident or mishap is the event which is already occurred. But the rest of the thing in these two definitions, like after resulting in death, injury, illness, all those property damage, environment damage, and in the second case also the potential condition that can lead to loss to personal, property, and environment. So, that is why carefully observe the two definition, and you see that apart except this first part, the result series of events, this up here and here any real or potential condition, this is the difference, rest of the things are same written. Okay. So, that means accident and hazard, they are very much connected, and that connection we usually say that if we talk about a coin, then if the one side is hazard, then other side is accident. So, that means accident and hazard, they are the two sides of a coin. So, one side is potential condition, another side is realization of that potential condition in terms of undesired events leading to loss to property, loss to personal environment of different degrees of freedom or degrees of risk. So, we will go with some example now, that we will basically see that what is the accident and hazard. As I told you that accident and hazard are the two sides of a coin. So, as a result, the theory says that hazard will ultimately convert it to accident, hazard to accident. So, I am giving huge importance to these two words, hazard and mishap. The reason is that if you know what is an hazard and accordingly identify the hazard in the workplace or the system for which you are concerned about, for which the safety is an issue, then identification of hazard is very important one, and you know that once you know the hazard, then it is possible to combat with the hazard. So, now a safety engineer wants to know that if given the hazard, what way it will ultimately lead to actual consequences, that means accidents. So, hazard is before state potential condition and accident is after state actual consequences. This hazard is converted to accident, and that is known as state transition. That means, hazard is a state and accident is another state. So, there is state transition for any system, for any workplace, for any job, and with reference to hazard theory, how the hazard state is converted to the accident state, you have to identify, you have to know, you have to find out the path. So, that transition path, if you know how a hazard will ultimately lead to an accident and accordingly the path is known, then much work is completed. So, that means by hazard theory what do we mean? We mean that hazard is a potential condition for accident. Now, how this potential condition ultimately lead to accident, knowing the path is the job of safety engineer, and accordingly putting intervention or barriers in between in such a manner that that path will not realize. So, that is what is basically hazard theory. Now, I will give you one example that what do we mean by what is the difference in terms of hazard and accident. You see the difference. Just see the example, worker could be electrocuted by touching exposed contacts in electrical panel containing high voltage, Worker could be electrocuted. So, what is very important, could be electrocuted. So, that means this is the potential case. What is accident? Worker was electrocuted. Okay. So, worker could be electrocuted and worker was electrocuted, that is the difference. So, could be electrocuted is a condition and was electrocuted is an event. And then what way it has happened? By touching exposed contacts in electrical panel containing high voltage. So, there is no difference here also, by touching exposed contact in electrical panel containing high voltage. So, this is the transition, that worker could be electrocuted condition, you must know and accordingly you put barriers so that it will not happen. But if you do not do anything, what will happen? This will ultimately realize into accident. Safety engineer must understand that how this potential state will convert it to accident state, this transition. I am repeating the word transition. Okay. And you see, apart from this, that hazard and accident or mishap, there is another quantity called hazard mishap entity. What is this? This is nothing but measure of hazard potential, measure of hazard potential. Okay. That means, what do you mean to say? What is the amount of hazard that is involved in this particular job, particular work. So, this is what is also known as risk. This is what is known as risk. Okay. So, from hazard theory point of view, hazard mishap entity is an important concept, which is basically risk. Okay. So, there have been what we have learned? We have seen some definitions, particularly common definitions, what a safety engineer should know: hazard, accident, risk, then incident, and safety, by what is the definition of safety. And then we have found that hazard and accident are two sides of a coin, and a safety engineer must know how the hazard state is converted to an accident state. It is the job of a safety engineer. So, you first know how hazard will be converted into accident and what is the path, which path it should follow. There can be multiple paths. So, one very important concept, that is that the hazard theory, that state transition from hazard state to accident state. Okay. Let us see this example, that the example we have discussed, that your hazard example. I will go by some other color. Okay. So, this one is known to you now, that worker could be electrocuted by touching exposed contact in electrical panel containing high voltage. Okay. Now, why this way we have written? Is it the complete definition of hazard? How do I say hazard is the potential condition that can cause this. In actual context, when you investigate a workplace or a job or a machine, so you identify hazard, and then what way it should be documented, what are the components of a hazard, that is known as hazard components. If we carefully analyze this, then you will find out a beautiful structure, that worker could be electrocuted. Here one is worker, who is he? He is the target, hazard, because worker is exposed to the hazard. What is the exposure? electrocution. So, that is the threat. So, worker could be electrocuted, worker could be electrocuted. So, electrocuted is the threat. Now, this electrocution will not be possible if the worker do not touch what? Exposed contacts. And what is its what I can say that hazard content? It is high voltage. So, this example if we write in this fashion, then worker could be electrocuted because of two different other things should happen. One is that worker must touch what? Exposed contacts. So, these two events if does not take place, the electrocution will not take place. So, these two in between events are known as initiating mechanisms. IM stands for initiating mechanisms. Then containing high voltage. High voltage, this is the source. This is the source of hazard. So, hazard, this source of hazard is known as hazard element. So, as a result, a hazard has three elements. One is hazardous element, which is essentially the source of hazard. For example, here high voltage. Second one is initiating mechanism, because that high voltage will not cause electrocution unless the wire is exposed bare and as well as the person do not touch. So, person does touch the exposed wire, that is why electrocution has take place. So, as a result these are the initiating mechanisms. So, if I write say this is my IM1, then it is IM2, or I will write this IM1 and this one is IM2 and this is HE and this one is your target and threat. Then basically HE this must be present and then IM1, what is this? Exposed contacts. Then IM2, what is this? Touching by worker, then electrocution. So, this is the path. That means hazardous element with a series of intermediate events finally lead to electrocution of the person or the worker. So, then this is the path. So, that means this hazardous state element, this state is now converted to electrocution state. So, you have to identify this path. So, that means hazard by in definition itself the path must be reflected when someone investigates an accident already occurred or inspect a workplace, particular location site or particular job or particular machine being operated. So, he must inspect or investigate in such a manner that this path is understood. If this path is not understood, then what will happen? You will not be put barrier here for to make it does not happen, or even if it happens, this should not happen. So, if any one of these two does not happen, what will happen then? Electrocution will not happen. So, that is a very important concept. Hazard triangle is a very important concept. These three element or these three component of an hazard makes hazard triangle. If hazard triangle is complete, that means accident has taken place. Okay. So, we will see some more example. I will repeat this important concept, that hazard components. Hazardous element, this is the basic hazardous resource creating the impetus for the hazard, such as hazardous energy source, such as explosives being used in the system. Okay. So, keep in mind that your hazardous element is the starting point. Are you able to identify all hazardous elements where you are working or for which you are designing? So, as you are a safety engineer, so basically you are a designer. You will design a system for the people to work, design a product for the for people to use. So, in that case you must know what are the hazardous elements already inbuilt into the system. Can those elements be reduced, eliminated? Suppose this is not possible, that your technology from operation and function point of view requires the hazardous source to be there, to be present, to be designed. In that case, you have to know what are the initiating mechanisms that can take place. So, what is initiating mechanism? This is the trigger or initiator events causing the hazard to occur. The IM cause actualization or transformation of the hazard from dormant state to mishap state. That means, what I mean to say, suppose you talk about a machine, moving parts are there. So, there is hazard. People working underground, under the roof, that is also actually hazard is there, that room may fall. Someone basically that working in the coke oven or near coke oven or coke plant. So, may be exposed to the coke oven gas. So, all those things are there. They are from the production point of view, underground mines will be there, coke plant will be there, machine parts will be there. So, you cannot avoid those hazardous elements. But you must see that what way this hazardous element ultimately triggers to different undesired events and finally lead to accidents that should not happen. So, that means these initiating mechanism makes that hazard from dormant state to mishap state, accident state. So, we have to understand this. Third one is target and threat. It is better understood, because target means primarily people, then property, then environment, and threat can be of different kind. All those, usually by threat we means that death, injury, something like this. Okay, but there are multiple different contexts, different threats. Okay, please keep in mind very much. Few more example. A pressure tank system where hazardous element is high pressure tank, hazardous element is here high pressure tank, tank may rupture, lead to explosion and death. Suppose you just think of a petrol pump, fuel is there, the fuel may leak, there are ignition source, it may lead to fire loss or damage. You think of high voltage, what example already we have given. Okay, so these are some example of hazard components. So, hazard is very important concept in safety engineering, and all of you must know what is hazard, what are the different hazard components, and we must be able to understand that how to document hazard. Here you see that it is basically for describing hazard, how to write properly the hazards. There are poor example and good examples. Suppose many a times what happened, based on my experience, I have seen that when I have seen some accident report or inspection report, people have written repair technician sleeps on oil. So, this kind of write up is not good. This kind of write up is not good example of hazard, poor example of hazard. Or signal MG71 occurs, or person falls from working platform. Now, good example will be overhead valve V21 leaks oil, overhead valve walkway below, spill is not cleaned, repair technician walking in area slips on oil and falls. You just read all those things. What happened? You will find out that in this particular example, the hazardous element, initiating mechanisms and targets and threats are clearly written. And after reading this, you will be able to find out that the sequence of events. Similarly, here also, suppose person falls from working platform. Working platform for plastering work was made without toe guard. Workmen were not using safety belt. End of railing pipe was also not tied properly. Persons falls from working platform causing serious injury. Here working platform at height, that is basically the hazardous element. And what are the initiating mechanism? It was not having toe guard, and workmen were not using any safety belt. Then also the railing pipe was not tied properly. So, these three things, three initiating mechanisms ultimately lead to person fall from the working platform. And what is the threat? Here the threat was basically that he or she basically experienced serious injury. Okay. So, this is basically the way you must write hazard. By hazard, I mean to say that there are three components. One is your hazardous element, second one initiating mechanism, maybe one, maybe multiple. There can be sequence of initiating mechanisms happening, and finally leading to target and threat execution. Okay. This is what is known as your hazard knowledge. Okay. So, I will just go by another slide, that what we have learned so far, just so far in the sense in this particular lecture, just I am just basically summarizing this, that what are the key hazard theory concepts. Hazards results in mishaps, means hazard results in accident. Hazards are inadvertently built into a system. Hazards are not coming out of blue. It is basically built, inadvertently built into a system. Means during design, during build, during operation, during maintenance. So, means in the life cycle of a system, sometimes somewhere these hazards are built. Mostly design is the problematic one. Hazards are recognizable by their components. Means you must know that hazard has three components. One is hazardous elements, which is basically the resource, like hazardous energy source, and initiating mechanisms. These are the basically series of events that can take place, ultimately leading to that accident, and accident basically puts threat to the targets. Targets are people, property and environment. A design flaw can be a mishap waiting to happen. Suppose you design a process, okay. Suppose a boiler you design, and there is a flaw. Okay. So, suppose a important sensor, safety point of view, you fail to install there. What will happen? Any time an accident will happen. Okay. So, design flaw is very important one. So, that is why we say that safety engineering, engineers basically do design. So, safety engineering, it should start from the design house. It should be at the extreme upstream of a system life cycle. A hazard will occur according to hazard components involved, obviously, depending on the hazard components. A hazard is deterministic entity, not a random event. Hazard is a deterministic entity. Understand, accident is a random event, but hazard is not a random event. It is known. If you do not know what are the hazards at your plant, that means you are ignorant about the system. You do not have design knowledge, you do not have system knowledge, means adequate design and system knowledge. Hazards and mishap are predictable. Obviously, as hazard is deterministic, it is predictable. Mishaps, even though random, they are also predictable. And if something can be predicted, it can be prevented or controlled. Okay. So, this is for today. I hope that I have given you the theoretical side of hazard and the issues, means the components of hazards, and how you can equate hazard and accident. If you know hazard, you know accident, and it is you, the design engineer, the safety engineer, who will build a system in such a manner that it will be minimum hazard prone, or minimum hazard will be inbuilt, because that is required based for the production, operation, other functionalities point of view. But that minimum hazard also should not be kept, that means what I can say, unattended. That hazard, minimum hazard, the hazardous element, that is the residual risk, later on I will tell you. So, that residual risk, that also that should be protected. Okay. So, thank you very much.